But like, oh, she's not that crazy. She's just a normal person.
Yeah, we get recognized a fair bit in the Provo area. You know, that's like the heart of our fan base. But I think what makes it really nice is that we all started it together, and we were all very good friends beforehand. So if I was doing it by myself, I think it would feel very ostracizing and lonely in a lot of ways because everyone knows you, but you don't know them yet, you know what I mean? And so there's this aspect of we're not on equal footing right off the bat, and I'm at a disadvantage. But ultimately, that's good. People are watching the show. That's what we want. That's why we have jobs. So,
It's a good thing.
yeah, it's like, you know, it's a price to pay, but it's definitely worth it. Yes.
You do a great job staying away from things in comedy where what makes something funny is usually mildly inappropriate to completely crass. What's your gauge to say, okay, that's, you know, and where is your edge? And do you find yourself sometimes, no, we can't do or say that?
Yeah. So how do we keep it appropriate? Is the question. And really, the first test is in the writers' room.
Yeah.
If any of us are uncomfortable with something or just the sketch as a whole, then we talk about it and we say why and everything. And usually it's like if someone's like really like, yeah, I don't feel good about this, then we just say, okay, we're just not going to touch it.
Yeah, and kind of like you said, we're all usually on the same page. There's sometimes where like a joke will be kind of gray, you know, like that gray area where some people say, I think that's fine, and some people say, maybe not. You know, everyone has kind of their own personal standards as well. But we just try to, like Matt said in the writers' room, we just try to make the funniest thing we can, and usually that means it's not as crass, but you know, it's not as hard as you think, I guess. When there's 10 people thinking about a script and thinking about a way to improve a joke, we can come up with a solution together for sure.
In the front?
I have children that you have inspired to go into acting and comedy and that sort of thing.
I'm sorry.
Really, you should see my house. Total reruns of you all day long. Anyway, my question is what is a normal work day environment for you?
Yeah. I don't know if we have a normal one.
It's always changing. The norm is that it's never the same, I guess. Like we said earlier, we write as well as act. So there's a good chunk of the year where we're focusing on writing, which takes up a lot of time, but it's a little bit more flexible. Some people write in the morning, some people write in the evening. I write when my kids are asleep, you know, things like, and everyone's different. We just need to deliver these scripts, you know what I mean? So writing is a little bit more flexible. When we're in production and we're shooting, we're in rehearsals a lot. And then we also have our offset sketches. So I don't know if you guys know the difference. There's some that we film in the studio, in Studio C, or in front of a live audience. And there's others that we film, we call them offsets. They look kind of like movies. And so those offset shoots usually are at least 12-hour days for one sketch. Usually more like 14 by the end of the day. So those are long days, but we get them done. So basically, the answer to your question is it's changing all the time. But it's a lot more time than you think, and it's a lot more work than you think, but we have a good time.
Yeah. So if they don't like structure, it's great. And yes, fine.
So I was just going to say, first of all, in the political climate that we're in right now, thanks so much for making fun. Really appreciate
You're
you
welcome.
need that lightheartedness.
Yeah.
And plus I'm a Canadian, so that one sketch that you did was fantastic.
I love Canadians.
But I did want to ask, who did write the sketch on the angel? Come on, that was...
The shoulder angel?
Yeah, the shoulder angel.
Yeah, I wrote that.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah. The original shoulder angel I wrote in college, and we just, you know, repurposed it for Studio C.
It's still funny. It still makes me laugh. I've seen it so many times. It's so funny.
Physical comedy is great for repeat performances. Comedy doesn't have a great shelf life. You know, musicians can go and tour and play the same songs over and over, and people love it. But if you perform the same jokes over and over, it does not have the same effect. But physical comedy seems to have a longer shelf life. Scott Sterling, for example.
That still makes me laugh.
Me too.
Good. Yeah.
how many characters from Divine Comedy carried over into Studio C?
How many characters did we take from our days in Divine Comedy?
Our season 1 was almost all Divine Comedy, and then we started writing stuff specifically for Studio C.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, season 1 is basically everything we wrote in college, just the best
And
stuff.
season 1 is when it doesn't look as good. If you're wondering, if you're just watching on YouTube, if it doesn't look very good, it's probably season 1. We had like no budget. So.
If the set is huge and has no carpet, it's season 1.
Yes.
Where do you see the future of Studio C go?
What is the future of Studio C? We've just recently
That's a great
spent
question.
a lot of time figuring that out. A lot of time. And we have answers, kind of. What we want it to become is something akin to SNL in the sense that the cast is not locked. So you've only seen the same 10 faces the whole time, and that's great, but one day we will die. And
Get old.
Oh.
Like when we're 45, we shouldn't be playing children. Like we need to
Spice cafeteria of life.
Yeah, and just having, new people come in and stuff it ensures the life of the show, because we want it to live beyond us. Even if we're still alive, we want it to live beyond us. So, yes, we'll be starting to bring in some new people as we keep going, not all at once or anything, but, eventually and progressively. And we're trying to improve the quality as well.
I think we as a creative team are also interested in doing just more projects. Like we'd love to make a movie in the next few years. We'd love to write maybe a sitcom, maybe an animated show. We've just been talking about a lot of stuff. We love working together and we have a lot of ideas. So we're hoping for more. Next question. Yes.
Who breaks character the most and who can cause me to break character?
Who breaks character the most and who can cause? Jason can cause. Or Jeremy, actually. Jeremy makes me laugh a lot. Jeremy is like stone-faced all the time. And he also sometimes like improvs when you're not expecting it, so that makes me laugh. But Matt breaks the most for sure. Sorry to throw you on the bus, but it's the truth. But sometimes I break too. I'm not immune. But Matt usually breaks when there's like a close-up on his face.
It's true, and it's always when Jason is so close to me. Like it's like kryptonite or something. I don't understand it. He knows he has the power too, and he uses it. So, yeah, that's the story of us. Yeah.
So there's been I've seen you do Good Angel, South Mallory, the Purple Mattress thing.
Uh-huh.
How much of that kind of opportunity is coming your way?
So how many opportunities outside of Studio C are happening at the cast?
I think it's great. How much of that's happening?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, a decent amount. We've been doing commercials and stuff, and it's all individual, of course, and so it just depends. But like Natalie said, we're very interested in creating our own opportunities, if you will. Like we want to make a movie, want to make more content for BYU TV and for other things. So yes.
When you're making those commercials, do you have input into them?
It depends on the commercial. She was asking if we have input on the commercials that we appear in. And sometimes, yes. The VidAngel commercials I have a lot of input in.
Yeah, we can tell.
But yeah, and that's great. It's just not always so, if that makes sense. It's not always that way. But yeah. And generally in Utah, it's been nice because we have a bit of a reputation now and people want to get our input, which is fantastic, because we always have ideas. Not always good, but we always have them, and we love to share them. Have we had many missionary opportunities?
Like through the show?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we've been able to meet with youth. Last year I did a big regional youth conference in Madison. Things were like, I think we've been able to reach out to people. Every once in a while we get an email of someone who, well, I guess this happened twice, where we get an email where someone says, hey, I was introduced to the church because I started watching Studio C, and now I'm meeting with the missionaries or getting baptized or whatever. So there's definitely been opportunities. It's been fun. I mean, it's definitely not your typical missionary effort, which I think is good. I think it's good just to show that anyone of any faith can laugh with their family. You know what I mean?
And we've been deliberate in making sure that the comedy is accessible for anyone outside of the church. That was a very specific choice. So, yeah, it seems to be going well. I have a friend of mine who, she's not LDS, but she got a letter from her brother who was in prison at the time, saying, "You gotta check out this show, Studios." And she's like, "Oh, I went to high school with him." And anyway, so yeah, everyone's watching it. Yeah.
Do you feel like you were the class clown in school, or was this something I just kind of fell into and you said, hey, I want to do that?
No, I wasn't. No. She was asking if we were class clowns.
Oh.
I definitely wasn't. Well, I mean, I was a good student. I was, but I mean, like, I like to joke, but
Like everybody.
I did theater in school, and I mainly, like, if it was a comedy play, I definitely auditioned, I was definitely in it. And if it was like Shakespeare or like more dramatic, I'd be like, maybe not. You know, like, I didn't enjoy it as much, but I definitely wasn't like the goofiest kid in my class. Yeah, I was a pretty good student.
I don't think any of us really were class clowns, so we don't fit the mold. In fact, Divine Comedy it's an extracurricular thing at BYU, right? So everyone came from a different major. Natalie was like the closest she was theater education, and then Mallory and Jeremy studied film. But everyone else, I mean, I say psychology, James was engineering, pre-med, all kinds of things. And they auditioned for Divine Comedy because it was just fun. It was something inside them that they wanted to express. And that's why I think it works so well, is because they didn't care if they were good at it.
It's true though. It was something that we just loved to do. It was like a really awesome hobby. And when we were in Divine Comedy, we would say all the time, "Man, can you imagine getting paid to do this? That would be amazing." But it was never a possibility. You know, we were there to get real jobs and to get a real degree, and it just happened the way it did. It was amazing. Like we were very surprised.
Yeah, so I like to push back when people say things aren't possible. You know what I mean? We don't really know.
So do you get Hollywood offers ever? Has any?
Do we get Hollywood offers? No, we were on Conan recently, which was
In
awesome
Hollywood?
in Hollywood, and he was awesome. He was super nice, just the nicest guy, and his family's just adorable. No LA executives asking us to be in movies or anything like that, which is really fine with us,
Yeah.
because we don't want to live in LA. And like I said, like we both said, we're very interested in making our own opportunities and making content in Utah and drawing talent to Utah instead of saying, well, if you're good enough, you leave. You go to LA, you go to New York. We want to change that, or at least give an option.
Has the success of Studio C changed any of the classes that BYU has been offering to help students maybe following your lead?
It has the one. There's a sketch writing class now, which I actually taught. Whitney taught it first, and then I taught it for a few semesters. Still being taught now, not by a member of Studio C, but still. So yeah, I think it is legitimizing sketch comedy a little bit in that sense, which is great, because Divine Comedy was always like yeah, I mean, it's part of the theater department, but it was always like,
There's those silly kids.
yes, the silly kids just having fun, and now I think we're viewed a little bit differently, which is great.
Yeah. What's your favorite season?
Our favorite season?
Oh.
Oh man.
My favorite season is the one we're making right now. That's usually what it is. The one that we're filming, the one that you'll see next.
I think it will be our best season yet. Legitimately.
We have time for one or two more. Yeah. What's your favorite character that you guys have played?
Our favorite character that we played.
That has a lot of
I really like Rumpelstiltskin. No one ever mentions him to me. But I really enjoyed it. I think he's so fun.
I love Rumpelstiltskin. I loved playing Susan Weavers. It was a long time ago, though. I did love Susan.
People love Susan, yes.
Is Divine Comedy still a thing at BYU?
Divine Comedy is still a thing. They're 20 plus years now.
Gotcha.
It existed before us and it's
Okay.
carried on.
And then on average, how many hours per week? I know it changes according to what you're doing, but how
Mhm.
much time do you spend per week, you think, on average, kind of ballpark?
It's our full-time job, but I mean, there are weeks where we're able to travel or, do some commercial work or things like that. When we're in production though, it's 40 to 50 hours a week for sure, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, easily. So, like to give you an idea, if we're filming during a week, then we're filming every day. I mean, that's the current schedule.
Monday through Friday.
And if you're casted in every sketch that week, then you're looking at 60 hours a week. Just easy. If you're not casted if you're only casted in one, then you're looking at like a 12-hour week. And the rest of the time you can spend writing or just sleeping, catching up from the week before.
From the week before, that's right. Yeah.
So as an aspiring actor, I feel like there's a lot of limited opportunities out there, especially for someone that I can't act in musicals because I'm not a singer.
Mm.
So what do you suggest trying to get into the field? Where do I go? Type of thing.
Yeah, well, how do you get involved?
We just made our own stuff. Like that's all, like honestly, like Divine Comedy is just you write for your strength. So I would say learn how to write for yourself, learn like the things that you do well, and then work on the things that you wish you were better at. And then I also did a lot of just community theater, just audition for everything you could find.
And I can't sing well at all. I really can't. I did 2 musicals in high school, and I was like the lead for one of them.
You were?
I was, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
We did Guys and Dolls, and I was Sky, if you know the play. Terrible casting decision, legitimately. I think I was passable, I guess, but there were certain songs where it's like, oh, here we go, buckle up, everyone. This is happening. So, I would say keep just exploring everything, if that makes sense. Don't let your weaknesses hold you back, otherwise they'll never become strengths. Granted, my singing never became a strength, but I did enjoy the experience so much, and it did lead to other things. So that's a big thing. Like, do something, because it will lead to other things usually. So.
And it doesn't, like what you said, like, it doesn't always have to be a limitation. Don't think about all the things you can't do. Just think about the things that you can, and opportunities will happen. Any other questions? I think we've got three more questions. Anybody else? Yes. That is a wonderful question. I love Anne the Librarian, and I love Star Feralda, and I love Kyle. And I just love them all. I really do. I really like all the characters.
I took them all.
No, you're I love Jason's Gandalf impersonation.
He's so good at it.
Yeah, he's great at impersonations in general, but the Gandalf just gets me every time. And his Dobby. Oh man, I need to bring Dobby back. Dobby kills me. Any others? Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing any camps? It's kind of like you did yesterday for the youth, where you're
Camps?
camps, or do you do that?
We've talked about it. We just have never had the time. Maybe someday. It was really fun. It was a fun morning. The kids did great, and they were very good.
Yeah, time has been the big thing. Up until this current season, actually, we've had just virtually no time during the year. It's been booked solid almost, except for like a couple weeks in December we would have to ourselves. This next season, we're rearranging the schedule as such so that we can have more time for more things. We'd love to like go on tour and stuff like that. We'd love to go to movies. We'd love to do all kinds of stuff, and now we freed up some time to do that.
Will you guys improvise something for us?
Will we improvise something?
You're gonna kill him.
Whenever anyone says, yeah, like improv stuff, we're like, we're sketch comedians, so we spend months writing things that are funny, and it takes us months to get to that point. We have done improv shows and stuff occasionally, but that is definitely not our.
We're not good at it. Not that good at it.
It's
we take our time and write our jokes.
Yeah.
So.
But Yes, thank you for asking. So, how long did it take for us to get Shoulder Angel right? Shoulder Angel was just, you know. Oh, how long does it take to climb a shoulder? It depends on the guy. I mean, Sean Bradley took forever. I've never fallen, and that's a point of pride, yes. Sean Bradley took forever. He's 7.5 feet, literally 7'6". And you'd think like, yeah, okay, but he's still a human. No. I mean, he is, but he's a class unto himself. So, yeah, it took forever. I was truly struggling on that one.
Okay, one more question?
So what are your, who inspires you? What comedians, what sketch comics?
Who inspires us? My first influences, I think, were, like my dad. And Steve Martin Short, we watched a fair bit of their stuff. And more recently, I mean, we're all fans of a number of sketch comedians and Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Will Ferrell, just names you would probably come to expect. Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele are also super talented. And I should point out too that not all of these guys' content is like super clean. You know what I mean? Like you have to be pretty discerning with the media that you watch. But what we found is that we get a lot of credit for being clean. And people say, well, that must be really hard. And I think the hard thing is just being funny. And so, while I personally don't want to bring crass humor into what we're doing, I'm not going to disparage the other comedians for doing it if they're doing it well, they do their thing and that's fine. Bygones be bygones kind of a thing. And I respect them for being talented at what they do, and they have their choices just as well as we have ours. But, I have respect for them.
I watched Monty Python constantly as a kid. So I loved Monty Python. I love Lucy a lot. I love Lucille Ball. And more current comedians like Matt said, I love Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. I love Kate McKinnon. I think she's a genius. There's a lot going on currently that I think people are really talented. But those like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I could probably still recite the whole thing too. Are we good on time?
We need to end.
Okay, thanks so much, you guys.
Thank you.